And I just want to express some thoughts about living in peace today and some things about how daily life is going and some of the things that can be done to maintain a peaceful day, a peaceful existence, and just peaceful relations with others. So, welcome to this PowerPoint or this explanation, just a thought that I had that maybe can help somebody out there. Maybe you've already heard this information. So if you do like this information, please, do a like on the bottom. If not, that's fine too. It'll still be here. All right, so I believe the world today is in a state of unrest. We live from day to day, rushing to get to work, for someone else to pay our daily needs, and the pattern of work, eat, sleep, marriage, paying the bills, and maybe a vacation seems to be what we're conditioned to do to feel normal in society. So, but some people are filled with stress and anxiety due to the overwhelming need to succeed. And they feel that they have to be accepted for who they are as opposed to what society says they should be. So they're in stress and they're in anxiety because they're not accepted for who they actually are, only for what they're conditioned to be or to think, and then they're accepted. So the question at this time would be, well, how do I escape this pattern of living and become who I'm supposed to be in life? And the answer is taking a deep breath, exhale, and start life over again. And even though we're born into this environment, our outside environment that we did not create, and we didn't create our inside environment at all, but we can take control of the inside environment. And you can always start again. And we take control of our inside environment with our thoughts and beliefs, where our beliefs are formed. Everyone knows that when we're born, we have to learn to talk and walk. How we communicate and interact with our surroundings and others is based on what we taught, based on what we were taught and what we were learned about something or someone as a child. The question to ask ourselves is what we were taught, is that the actual truth about what something is? And since we cannot live in someone else's body and experience life as who they are, we only have our individual selves to live as. We did not create our environment. We were born into our environment. And in that understanding, we try to live based on what we're trying to live based on what we were taught. The outside of our bodies is the environment in which we live, based on where we live and who we are around. We learn the acceptable norms of do's and don'ts of society as children. And the environment can be your home, your school, your job, church, friend's home, or just being around people in society. If you live in a society that teaches that normal life is all about going to school, getting a career, getting married, having children, and then retiring, this pattern of living may lead to stress, anxiety, and for some, depression. Competition against your neighbor for the job position, lack of money for college, or you have to look a certain way to get a potential partner to notice you for romance. For some, it's very difficult. We're all different, and if the environment we live in is not catering to that difference, we feel unaccepted or like failures that cannot achieve goals set for us to meet in the environment. So we withdraw, we lose interest, and even reject the environment altogether and become unruly. For example, opposite gender loving relationships are considered normal, and same gender loving relationships are not accepted because it does not cater to having children. Also, outward appearances can be a trouble for some in society in terms of weight, skin type and color, gender, and culture. Since we cannot control all aspects of our outward environment, we can, however, learn to control our inward environment. Our inward environment includes our thinking, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, memories, dreams, imagination, and finally ourselves. Sometimes the outside environment has influence over what we think to know to be right. To change the conditioning of the outward environment on ourselves from within, we have to first learn to relax. And to relax, just find a quiet place where you can be alone for about 5 minutes. The restroom might be a good option. You know, people may not want to bother you at least for a few minutes until you have finished going to the restroom. And that's if you have a busy schedule and you just can't get away from life. Then when you have to go to the restroom, will be a great time to relax. And in the place you have found to be alone, you can sit or stand, whichever is comfortable for you, and then take a breath in for 2 seconds, and then exhale for 2 seconds, and then repeat this 3 times. The idea is to be aware of your breathing and how your body is reacting. When you breathe out, imagine that you are letting go of weight off of your person. And then after you're done with that, just return to normal breathing and just be aware in the present time. Just be aware of the moment that you're in, not thinking about, what I'm going to do for lunch or what the kids are going to do after school or the next meeting I have to go to or the next place I have to be to load the laundry. Just relax and just be still. And then you can do this for about 3 minutes or the time that you're given, 3 to 5. And then you just be aware of yourself and be aware of your body and be aware of what it's doing. And be aware of parts that are not relaxed. Like you can think of your shoulders, your stomach, your legs, your feet, and just pay attention. The idea is to be self-aware. Just pay attention to the body. And anything that seems stressful, just breathe in and breathe out to relax that part of the body you feel is not as relaxed as it should be. All right, so you can do this whenever you feel overwhelmed, stressed, irritated, or when you just need to think clearly. You can set a timer on your phone if you're one of the people who like to take the phones to the restroom. And second, we just have to be aware. We have to learn to be self-aware. Self-aware is key. Self-aware in our thinking. Once you finish your 3 to 5 minute breathing to relax, you begin learning to be aware of your thoughts. So while you're in the moment, the next time you do the breathing exercise, you're focusing on your body. Now you can focus on, say, your thinking and what you think about. To begin, you have to understand that our normal state of being is peace. And peace is the way we're supposed to be. Peace is our normal state of being. And if you don't believe me, then why do we look forward to vacation time? Peace is the way we're supposed to be. All right. So before we can even understand or get to the place of peace or even know what that means for us individually, um, we would have to define the word peace and understand what peace means to us. So we're going to be using the definition of peace, as you can see, as quiet and calm state of mind or harmony in personal relations. All right, so the definition of peace, as you see on there, is a quiet and calm state of mind and harmony in peaceful relations. All right, so when you're in your place of calm, that is your beginning place, your state of mind, your peacefulness, where there's nothing bothering you, where you feel you're relaxed. It's like you're asleep, but you are awake, and you're just aware, but you don't feel stressed. You don't feel anxious. You just feel relaxed. That is your normal state of being. And when you breathe, do the breathing exercise, and you're in that moment, not thinking about the past or the future, but just the present of just being aware of the moment. Understand that is a quiet and calm state of mind because there is nothing in your thinking that's causing you to feel anything stressful or to be worried or anxious about anything. And so then after you get aware and you get comfortable with this state of being, of just being in the moment with the breathing exercise, then you can start to analyze about what is going to disrupt that state of being, that quiet, that calm state of being. And what does interrupt that quiet, calm state of being, or even harmony in personal relationship is considered. And once we're in a state of calm and we have our peaceful, quiet state after the breathing exercise, and we're just in the moment and we're understanding the relaxation of body, then we can go ahead and start to understand that if anything is causing the stress, once we say we go back to our job or we go back to the family business or we're just in society in general to ourselves and or we're around people, and then we start feeling stressed or irritated. Anything that disrupts the or is an interruption of a state of peace, quiet, or calm is called a disturbance. So then we would analyze this disturbance and figure out what this disturbance is from and why am I being disturbed with this or why is this disturbing my peace or calm. And disturbance is something that stops you from working, sleeping, and etc. So once you understand the definition of disturbance, and that's what that's called when you feel stressed, anxious, or mad, or just uncomfortable, it's considered a disturbance to the state of mind that you want to be in called peace. All right, so once we analyze a disturbance, we're going to need to understand the cause. The cause of the disturbance, the reason for an action or condition, my state of being. Something cause is defined as something that brings about an effect. So once I'm in my peaceful state of being and I start to feel stressed or anxious or scared or mad or any of the things that will cause me not to stay in my peaceful state of being is the disturbance, and then we have to figure out the cause of this disturbance. So then when we figure out the cause, we analyze and figure out what is causing this disturbance. And then when we have found the truth of the cause and it correlates to how we're feeling or what's happening in the situation, it's known as the effect. So the cause would be the catalyst or what is the beginning or the initiating condition that's causing you to feel the way you do out of the peaceful state of being. So the cause would be, say there is a car crash outside or someone's arguing or someone is making loud noises. So that is called the cause because the effect of the loud noises or the arguing or the bickering, it would be known as the effect. The effect of what is happening to your person. The effect would be you're no longer in that calm state of being. So the idea is that once you analyze the cause, then you can get rid of the cause of what is causing the effect of no peace or the disturbance. And once you isolate the cause, then it's easier to tolerate or to interact and know how to protect yourself or to get yourself back into that peaceful state of being. And then once we have isolated the cause and we've neutralized the effect, or we went back to our breathing exercises to go back to the peaceful state of being because of, the effect of the noises or the things that's caused us to be out of peace, we can always breathe, relax, and go right back to that peaceful state of being. All right. So another definition is good to have an understanding of is feeling. Now, feeling can be a state of mind like the feeling of joy or generalized body conscious or sensation. Now, feeling can be a noun or feeling can be a verb. Feeling as a noun is considered a sensation experienced through the sense. And feeling as a verb is to experience a physical feeling or an emotion. or to sense a physical, mental, or emotional state. When practicing self-awareness, a person has to be aware of what they are feeling from the outside environment and also how they're feeling on the inside of themselves as well. Balancing the two will help in maintaining a peaceful mindset. For practice, a person can go out to the park and just sit and observe nature. They can pay attention to how the surrounding environment makes them feel. They also can examine the thoughts that they have while being in the park. Emotions are a part of the peaceful mindset as well. When a person starts to sense their feelings about a subject, the feeling can build in a strength and become an emotion. An emotion is defined as an intense stirring up of feelings, usually directed toward a specific person or event or involving something that changes you psychologically with the feeling and strength. So emotion and feeling are almost the same, but the difference is the strength. For example, you can be sitting on the beach and you can feel the air, the breeze, and it's a gentle breeze. That would be the understanding of feeling. It's just a gentle breeze is blowing and you can sense the feeling of the breeze. Now, an emotion would be the example. Now, the gentle breeze has turned into a hurricane. That would be considered emotion. It is still the breeze, the air, the feeling that you felt, but now it has an intensified, and the intensity is now changed to feeling to what is called the expression emotion. So the motion is just a strong feeling, like anger, joy. All right. So emotion is a feeling expressed in strength, which can be a positive or a negative. Peace can be a strong emotion that can provide a relaxing and calming effect on the body and mind as well. A person has to practice maintaining their peace every day. It is like an exercise, that you can build muscles. Like if you're not used to, examining and being self-aware of your body while breathing, this is a practice that you do every day. It's not something that you succeed and success overnight. You can, not saying that's not possible, but don't ever get discouraged if you're breathing and you're doing the examination and being self-aware, the examination of the body and self-awareness for, to calm and relax. If you can accomplish that the first time, just continue on, and sooner or later, through habit, your body will start to respond to breathing and also relaxing as like a meditation. All right. So again, if any person finds that they don't like their life, whether it's due to environment in which they live in or the choices that they have made in their past, they can always start over. And they can just start over just by being in the moment and just breathe. And after that, just let the peace begin by being aware of your outside environment and inside environment, like the thoughts and feelings that can occur through cause and effect. You can start over at any time in your life. You don't ever have to stay the same person that you are. If you feel your life is not the way you want and you don't feel peace in your life, you can always begin at that moment. You can always just take a few moments and just stop and just think, relax, breathe, do the breathing exercise, and just stay in the moment. It's like a reboot, and then start to consider what's the next step to take in terms of peace and getting your life or the situation to the point where it's peaceful for you and enjoyable and exciting. Okay, so then the question that a person can ask themselves while practicing a peaceful state of being would be in this peaceful me, I guess I would say. I believe that understanding who you are in truth is the beginning of a peaceful way of being. And truth is defined as actually what is, the real facts about something. Not what I think it is, not what we want it to be, or not, how it should be, how it should be, but how it actually is, the way things, the truth about it. Like some people may thought the world was flat, but we're in space now. We're on the moon, and we know that it's not just flat. You won't fall off the horizon off into oblivion. So that's the understanding of truth, is finding out what actually is about who you are. Who are you really? Yes, you grew up in a home and an environment where you were taught rules of etiquette or behavior, but is that who you really are? Like, if you want to be, a doctor, lawyer, or something that is not according to the environment you grew up in, you can always examine the truth of the situation and figure out who you are and what you want to be, because only you can live your life. No one else can live your life for you. And for someone to tell you what to do or how to be and they don't live as your life is a violation of your peace. You should make your own decision of what's peaceful for you and be happy in those decisions. Because if you follow your faith and what's peaceful for you, you will succeed and live a happier life. So, in the conclusion of this, I hope this is helpful in terms of if you're having a situation of life and you just don't know what's going on and you just feel, alone, or you just think no one understands who you are, you can just take that moment and start to take control of who you are and learn who you are as a person, and know that we didn't create the environment, and that we can take control of our thoughts and be who we really are and do the things we want to do in peace, as opposed to what the outside environment is telling us to be. So, other than that, if you have any suggestions on thoughts or topics, please comment below. And other than that, you have a peaceful day. And remember, peace is only a breath away.